fine. We're doing a little bit of self-filming work here, so bear with me. This week seems like it got the best of me, and I'm feeling a little tired and low energy, but I decided what I would do is give you the type of class that I would really want to do right now. So it's going to be very restorative, very relaxing, some stretching, but mostly just finding ease and relaxation, because that's what I really feel like I need right now. So yeah, we're in my practice room. The sun is setting. I'll show you our little view here. Hopefully you can see that beautiful sunset overlooking the city of Buenos Aires. So I'm excited to have you here. I have my little candle and on the altar going. So I invite you to just get cozy, to get a comfortable placement, a mat, maybe some blankets or towels to help support you as we go into these restorative poses. And I hope you enjoy. Thanks for joining. Okay, so we're going to start in child's pose. I'm going to take my favorite version, a nice wide-legged child's pose, bringing the knees as wide as the mat, toes touching together, and just sitting down onto the heels, relaxing forehead towards the mat. And just letting the belly fall through the knees, the arms relax completely, or maybe take a mudra that feels right to you. And just take 3 to 5 deep breaths to get grounded, to get centered. Taking this time before we start moving to just see what's going on with you today. What are your energy levels like? What is your breath like, your heart rate? Just becoming more aware with every breath that you take. And just tell yourself that this is your time. This is your time to relax, to find ease, to move in your body the way that it feels right. To move in your body in a way that feels really sweet and kind. Then just with your next inhale, draw the hands towards underneath the shoulders, rising on up slowly, drawing the knees, hips width apart. And then as you're ready, just slide your hands towards the front of the mat, lifting the hips over the knees, coming into an Anahatasana pose. Letting the heart melt down towards the earth. Letting the breath expand the lungs, the belly, the chest. And allow your shoulders to soften. And then with your next inhale, just start to slide yourself all the way onto your belly. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, lifting the chest forward. And exhale, forehead releases to mat. Feel the pubic bone pressing into the earth, the navel hugging back towards the spine. And with your inhale, rise up again for a baby cobra, feeling the collarbones extend forward. And as you exhale, just release your forehead back down. Again, inhale, just lifting the heart. Letting the breath fill the chest, lift the chest. And exhale, release forehead down, press into the hands, and make your way back into child's pose for a breath. here, just slowly start to lift the hips off the heels, tuck the toes under, and press yourself up and back to downward facing dog. Getting set up, settled. Get grounded through feet, through palms. Neck and head are soft. Just a few breaths in an easy downward facing dog. Taking any movements that feel right to you, just subtle movements. Or stay in stillness. And then on your next inhale, reach the right leg up towards the sky. Bend that knee, stack right hip up and over left hip. Keep the shoulders squared off. And then place that foot back down. Next inhale, left leg lifts. And just bend that knee and gently stack open left hip over right. And exhale, place left foot down. Good. From here, just bend the knees, gaze forward and walk to the top of the mat. Coming into a wide forward fold, feet about hips width, they're just slightly wider on the mat. Grab opposite elbows, let the head and the neck hang. And if it's comfortable, maybe gently sway side to side. Or if that's too much on the spine or the knees, just let the head gently nod out yes and no. And inhale, hands to shins. Find as much length in the spine as possible. And with your exhale, fold back down. Again, inhale, hands to shins. Nice long spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, this time, draw the hands all the way towards the thighs. Press gently into the thighs to extend to traction in the spine as long as possible, away from hips. And then exhale, release and fold. Good. From here, just step one foot all the way towards the back of the mat, taking a wide-legged forward fold, a Restorative fold, maybe bringing the feet a little bit further apart. Toes angle in towards each other, heels separate away, and just relax the head down towards the earth. Return back to breath. And then as you're ready, just bring the hands to the mat. Walk the hands towards the front foot and step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach right leg up. And exhale, step through. Lower right knee towards the earth. Lengthen the spine up, let the hips settle down towards the mat. And then just make your way back, downward facing dog, tucking off the back knee, stepping right foot back, and then inhale, left leg lifts, and exhale, step through, right knee towards the earth, keep the fingertips planted, just feel the chest lift up and over that knee, the hips settle down towards the ground, neck is soft, head is soft. Maybe even taking some gentle neck circles, half circles, so ear to shoulder, chin to chest, and then opposite ear to opposite shoulder. And then exhale, make your way back, downward facing dog. Inhale here, shift forward to plank pose. Exhale, just lower yourself down to the earth. Rising up on the inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, press back into child's pose. Take 3 breaths. And then just slowly start to come up to seated. Sit down on one side and bring the legs out in front of you. So I'm going to grab a couple of my blankets now. If you have blankets or a block, you're welcome to grab those. Just coming into a gentle fold, bringing the sitting bones towards earth. Start with the hands by the sides. Really press palms to earth, feel the crown of the head extend out and away from hips, just like we did in that forward fold with the hands at the thighs, feeling as if you could get longer in the spine, more space between each vertebrae. And then with an inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge from hips, folding forward, bringing the hands to the earth. Grab a hold of your blankets, of blocks, just stack them up onto the legs and relax the head down onto those props. You can hold on to the feet as long as you're not feeling any tension or pulling in the back. If you are, let the hands relax down by the sides of your legs. You can always boost up a block to a higher height, a blanket to a higher height. Really just feel as if you were hugging your favorite pillow. Allow the eyes to close. And just tune back into breath. So the goal here is not to necessarily lay yourself down onto your legs. The goal is to take it to a place where you're starting to feel the opening in the backs of the legs and you're feeling no tension or strain in the upper back. Sometimes I find that desire to get deeper into a pose can actually cause more stress on the body. So just try to find ease, but be mindful. So if your back is bothering you at all, just lift it up a notch, slide the props into you. You can even stack your forearms onto the block or blankets and forehead to the arms. So there are many different options here. If you have a little bit more space, you can hold on to the feet or place a block below the feet to hold on to. And we're just going to take about 3 to 5 more breaths here. Forward folds are very calming. They're great for when you just need to rest, regain some energy. They're also good if you're trying to fall asleep. It's good to do some folds before bed. And from here, just slowly start to come off the fold, lift the head, and then peel yourself up to seated. Set the props off to the side just for now. We're going to use them again in a moment. We're going to bring the feet together, knees wide, into a Baddha Konasana, but we're going to take a wider Baddha Konasana than you would normally do. So we want about, like a half a meter between the heels and the pelvis. So a lot of space here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take another fold, and this space helps you find a little bit more relaxation. For if our legs are here, we're trying to fold over. We kind of get this like rounding pose. So with a little bit more space, we can keep the back long as we fold over. So take your time to get set up to find that place that feels right for you. Be mindful of the knees. So if you need to adjust, you can adjust, even come out if it's too much. And then grab a blanket, a block, whatever prop you have, to just slowly, as you're ready, make your way down onto. And again, no pulling. So we want to make sure that we're not, again, creating more strain in the upper body. If you need a little boost, grab another prop, another block. You can even bring the forearms to the block, head to the arms. Getting to a point where instead of feeling like you're pulling the back, that you're getting some opening in the inner thighs, the backs of the hips. And there's nothing but ease in the upper body, including the jaw, the face muscles. And then just let your breath take over. As we spend a little bit more time in this pose, if you feel like you have the space to go deeper, as your body opens up and is ready to go deeper, you're welcome to slide a prop out, take it a little bit to a lower depth, but really just listen in. And if you want to experiment, but if it becomes too much, just come back up off of it, no big deal. Just finding the depth that is right for you, where you feel the opening and you can really soften into it. And then with your next inhale, just slowly start to rise off the fold. Set the props off to the side. We're going to come into a bridge pose next. So just start to scoot yourself down towards the center of the mat, just so you have space on your mat to come back onto. And then bring low back to mat, feet and knees hips width apart, heels close enough to touch lightly with the fingertips. And then you want to feel the low back press into the mat, and you'll feel the tailbone start to lift, peeling your back, your spine 1 inch at a time off the mat. And then if you have the space, maybe walk the shoulders underneath you, interlace the hands behind you, press actively into the feet. Keep the chin tucked towards the chest. The legs are active. If you start to feel this at all in the low back, just drop the hips a few inches, re-tuck the tailbone up slightly, and then lift. So what we want to avoid is coming into a deep back bend here. We're trying to find more length in the low spine. Good. And then just turning on the muscles in the legs a little bit more. We're going to keep the right foot grounded and extend the left leg up towards the sky. Press into that right leg to lift the left heel another inch higher. Good, and then change sides. Left foot plants, right leg extends. Gather in the muscles, turn on that left glute, left thigh to lift the hips higher. Extend right heel to sky. And then exhale, release right foot down. Inhale, arms extend up overhead, and just roll down the spine one vertebrae at a time. And then let the arms relax overhead, feet separate as wide as the mat, knees touch together. Allow the eyes to close and just breathe in this counter pose. Right. And slowly just draw the arms down by the sides, walk the feet back in. We're going to transition towards the wall to do legs up the wall. So just make your way up to seated. Have a blanket nearby and just make a nice big roll with the blanket. So we're going to set that off to the side. And then just sit up next to the wall, one hip to wall. Draw the legs up as you lower back down onto the ground. Good. So we want the sitting bones just lightly grazing the wall, maybe an inch or so away. Not so close that you feel restricted by the wall, but not so far away that you don't feel like the legs are upright or perpendicular to the earth. And then just bend the knees, plant the feet, lift the hips up, and slide that bolster underneath the back. So the bolster is going to go right in the center of the sacrum, not in the lumbar spine, the deeper arch in the back, but closer down towards the back of the pelvis. So that the legs are supported, the hips are lifted, but there's no back bend happening or intensifying here. And then just get comfortable, relax arms by the sides, wiggle the toes. And then just find stillness. We're going to take 5 to 8 breaths. And as you breathe, as we did at the beginning of class, just tune in again. What do you notice? What do you feel has changed? What's the energy like in your body? What's your mood? So for me, I feel so much better after just a few moments on my mat, connecting to my breath and really just honoring where I am right now, not trying to pretend like I'm more energetic than I really feel right now. Just going with it, just allowing myself to be. Because when we work with our moods, when we lean into how we're feeling, we can start to unlock and figure out what it is that will help us, what it is that we really need right now. So just see for yourself. This type of restorative work might not be your jam, and that's totally fine. It's a good experiment. Maybe you need a little bit more upbeat class. And if so, after this, take some time on your own to do more energizing poses or try out another video that's a bit more energetic. Again, just really honoring where you are and what your body's craving. That's the most important. All right, if this is feeling really good, stay here. For me, I feel like I want just a little bit more of an inversion, so I'm going to come into a shoulder stand. So again, stay here if this is good. You can even take a different version of legs up the wall, maybe just bringing the feet in towards the pelvis, knees wide, or you can twist to one side just for a few versions of changing up this pose. But for me, I'm going to take shoulder stand. So I'm going to slide the blanket out from underneath, press my feet into the wall, start to walk my shoulder blades underneath me, elbows back in towards each other, and bring my hands to my hips. The closer the elbows are, the more balance you'll have, the more foundation you'll have, and then just lift one leg off the wall. So in this pose, we want to avoid looking side to side, so really tuck the chin in towards the chest. And then maybe try the other one. If you're feeling a lot of compression in the neck, grab a hold of that blanket, unroll it, and set it up underneath your shoulders. So you're going to want the head to be off of this blanket just to give you about an inch or two extra space for your neck here. And then just come back up just like we started. Walk elbows in towards each other, hands to low back. Keep chin tucked towards chest, and just extend one or both legs up. Steady out the breath. Take any leg variations that feel cool. And as you're ready to come out, bring one foot to the wall, and then the other, and slowly roll yourself down onto the back, 1 inch at a time. Once the hips are down, slide them out from underneath you. So we're all going to meet again in the pose, legs up the wall, just as we started. And then just draw the knees to one side, keep the feet pressed on or just sliding down the wall. And gaze over the opposite shoulder away from the knees, just for a reclined twist. And then with an inhale, engage the core, lift the legs, and then slide the feet down towards the other side, the legs to the other side. Try to keep the hips stacked on top of each other and gaze away from the knees. And then with your inhale, all the way over towards the side that your knees are on. Press your palm to the earth and just make your way up to seated. We're going to scoot ourselves back onto the mat. Grab a hold of your blanket one last time. Create that roll. Again, so you're rolling it up like a burrito. Place it lengthwise on the mat. And what we're going to do is bring that close towards the hips, lie back onto it, and we want the head to be on the top of that roll. So this is a nice way to help open the chest and shoulders and give the spine a little bit of a release. So I recommend bringing the feet wide, knees together. That will help just open the hips. But if that's too much, you can place the feet onto the earth or just extend the legs out and make any adjustments that you need to so the edge of the blanket by your back isn't digging in or bothering you in any way. Just take a big breath in here, let the arms relax, and a big breath out. And as we come into this Shavasana variation, just allow yourself to melt down. Surrendering body to the earth. Letting go. Taking this time so that you may rebuild. So that you may regain your energy, your strength. And as we lie here, just take a few moments to acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge and send some gratitude to your body for all of its strength, all of the strength that you have right now. Acknowledge your body for all of the flexibility, all of the movement. All of the ability of your body to go with the flow, to go with life's ups and downs. Perhaps even send some thanks to yourself for taking this time to be on your mat, to be present and aware of what's going on within you, around you. This is precious, sacred time. To stay in this longer if you have the time, the desire to remain here. Otherwise, just slowly start to bring some movement back into the fingers and toes, filling the lungs with the breath. As you're ready, making your way easily over onto one side, coming off of that blanket roll and up into a seated position. And just closing out class, bringing the palms together at the center of the heart. heart. Sending a wave of love to your body, to your mind, to your heart, and to your life. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.